How's it going, everybody? It's Mark Career here in my backyard, enjoying the nice, beautiful Arizona weather out here. I wanted to let everybody know that we just recently released our Sedian Handbook. Okay, that's kind of a little thing that we put together and all that. We got our first bad review on the Sedian Handbook, and it really made me think that I should, because I like to address these things. Not that I'm concerned. I mean, some people like our work, some people don't. But this guy is actually a fan of ours, and I wanted to address his statement here because I feel like it's important for me to let people know exactly what the Sedian Handbook is and why we put it together. All right, so this is from Tom. He gave it 2 stars. It says, "More of the same, much better out there. Coming right after I read Praxis, a Foreign Cedar primer. Buy that instead. This book captures the same old formula, older beginner's guides to a faith that work bemoaned. It seems like a reactionary work at best. It explains in depth the Northern Society, some of their basic morals and underpinnings, scantily lists some of the gods, offers a single prayer to Odin without any guidance, then only other thing it offers is immediately an oath to take, and then goes over the afterlife. Really a thrown together mess in a way. Norna has put out some good stuff. This isn't it. 2 stars because I like them. Doesn't talk about ancestors' practice or much else. Not really useful, but to send them a few dollars to do better things." All right. So it's a decent review, I would say, for somebody who's picking this book up as an experienced practitioner and trying to learn something. Okay. And that is not the purpose of the book. That's why I wanted to make this video. Okay. So we put together this book to help people to basically promote our faith. Okay. So if the idea, we have a lot of people right now who are trying to grow Sedianism, who are trying to develop the religion, who are trying to promote it and all that stuff. And you can't walk up to somebody with a 300-page tome and be like, here's this religion, start practicing it, And so it's not really as much of an educational text as it is a promotional text. Okay, so we put it together, and really, honestly, I think that it has too much in it, but there's a lot of it we just had to put in there, because I was trying to keep the book at the lowest possible, the minimal page count that I possibly could. I was trying to see if I could keep it to 25 pages, but I just couldn't do it, because there was information that needed to be in there. But like I said, the idea is just to open the door. It's almost like a glorified flyer is what we're creating here. And I was trying, because the purpose of it was to make it as cheap as possible. Now the price on there is $5.50, and that was the lowest I could get it. Seriously, if we're making no money off of it, it is what it is. And so the idea of putting it out there and helping people to promote the religion is just something like, if you're in your community, you're around people, you want to teach them about Satanism, it's a way that they can just have something they can flip through real quick, and then they can get their foot in the door. And so if you're buying it to try to buy an educational text, like a Norna Society educational text, that is not the book to buy. We have other books that are much more in depth and much larger and all that stuff. And I really feel like that's, that I should be teaching people that and telling people that. So that's why I wanted to get this out, is because there's so many times for me, myself, that I've come across people that I know would be sympathetic, know people that would want to know more about the faith and all that stuff, and I just wish I had something I could just hand them and go, "Here, just read this." It'll take you an hour to read it. It's nothing, if that. And super fast read, super easy to do, something very, very basic and very, very simple. We have other people that made attempts to it, and it's just once you get into, because we are educators and we want to educate people, once you try to get into that education mode, you'll just go and go and go and go, and then the next thing you have is a 300-page book, and the idea is to introduce it to people, not to just teach them everything about the religion, because it's just too much. It's just way too large of a culture for you to try to just hand somebody in the moment's conversation. So that's all. That's what I wanted to tell everybody about and go over that. So, like I said, if you want to use the book, buy the book. And we have people buying bulk copies and stuff like that. If you want to use it to promote the faith in your community, then that's what it is for. If you're wanting to buy the book just to educate and learn more about our faith, that's not the book to get. We have other books out there to get. Ivan Logover just came out, and we have Ivan the Runer 1 and 2. We have the Ostruetta that we're going to be changing into Alder Runer at some point. There's a lot more works that we have that are educational, that will teach heathens more and more and more about the faith, and you'll grow in your religion with those books. This is a promotional text. The purpose of it was to try to maintain the cost and the page count and make it as small as possible so that it can be handed out to people. And that's it. All right, you guys have a great day.